Ukrainian troops on Abrams and Bradley vehicles caught the Russian military by surprise in the Kursk region. The equipment is breaking through the defense line with anti-tank grenades in 3 rows. Look, the Bradley is moving forward, additionally deploying its own smokescreen. The artillery also assists by creating an additional dense smokescreen between the Ukrainian armored vehicles and the Russian positions. Using the smoke cover, the Bradley halts and launches a guided missile. The equipment continued to move and simultaneously began to unleash a heavy barrage of cluster and high explosive munitions. Continuing to maintain a heavy fire, the IFVs approach closely to the greenery and deploy assault infantry groups, who take full control of the Russian positions. A neighboring Russian unit dispatched armored vehicles with troops for support. A drone spotted them and relayed the information to one of the Bradley crews, which began to fire accurately, forcing them to abandon their plans and retreat. In a nearby village, a Russian Tiger M armored vehicle, fully loaded with ammunition, was preparing to set off for support but was attacked. A drone, directed by Ukrainian forces, completely destroyed it. A column of Russian armored vehicles sets out to assault and break through the defenses, but Ukrainian drone operators are already observing its movement and preparing to push back. The column is approaching, and it is clear that it consists of 6 pieces of equipment. At the front of the column moves an extremely fortified tank. Its task is to go first and clear the path. Look, it is protected by thick metal shields. Ahead of it is a mine clearance plow to clear the road. Moving forward, it fires and hits a mine. The track does its job, and the tank continues moving. Next, a drone tests its durability with a precise strike. The drone didn't damage it, but look! Almost immediately, a Ukrainian soldier fires an RPG. Yet even this doesn't stop the tank. However, after a few more drone strikes, the tank is finally taken down and starts to burn. The drone operators didn't ignore the other equipment in the column, successfully striking it as well. This forced the crews to flee. However, one armored personnel carrier managed to break deeper into Ukrainian positions, where a tank was already waiting and destroyed the enemy vehicle at close range. Another assault attempt in this direction ended with the loss of 2 APCs at once. Take another look at how effectively the mines worked. The vehicle was literally torn to pieces. This IFV attempted to break through between the buildings, hoping there were no mines. However, they were mistaken and hit one of the TM-62 mines. The crew scattered into the ruined buildings. Drones carrying larger explosive charges began to destroy potential hiding spots. Watch the unexpected outcome for this crew as well, in the Kursk region. The APC was struck by an FPV-drone in its running gear, losing one of its wheels. Instead of escaping into the dense vegetation, 4 Russian soldiers stood watching another drone circling above them. Unexpectedly, the fate of the APC was sealed by a Leopard with a single precise shot. Watch again as the shell flies. By the way, the number of planted anti-tank mines is increasing in the Kursk region, appearing like mushrooms after rain. A Russian IFV experienced the density of the minefields firsthand. Donetsk region. Ukrainian defense forces met this assault, involving a significant amount of equipment, with artillery fire and cluster munitions. Artillery accurately destroys the IFV with a precise shot. Another accurate shot hits the tank precisely, causing the two vehicles behind it to stop and retreat. From this angle, you can clearly see the destroyed tank burning after being hit. Next, drones entered the fray. They began to fly into the open hatches and doors of the damaged and abandoned armored vehicles, completely destroying them one by one. Just look at how this IFV has burned after being hit. Some equipment, like this tank, still tried to retreat, but as we know, drones are significantly faster than any vehicle. The crew stopped and fled, and another drone was sent in for the finish. Watch how the guys at the command post fan the flames through the monitor. Give them a well-deserved like on this video. This tank decided to bypass the field road, but for a drone, location doesn't matter. Enemy equipment will be destroyed wherever it is. The explosion was so powerful that the turret was thrown into the air, and after landing, it rolled several meters down the road. With this additional armor, it's hard to recognize one of the few modern Russian tanks, the T-90M. The drone strikes. There's no detonation, but the tank begins to burn from the inside. The T-90M is quite a rare specimen. At the same time, Russian stocks of T-80 tanks, which have been actively used since the beginning of the war, are gradually being depleted. According to OSINT data, 90% of T-80 tanks have already been removed from storage bases and sent for modernization or directly to the front. This is also confirmed by satellite images, which show a significant reduction in equipment at reserve bases, which have almost completely emptied. And even more convincing proof of this is the attempts at assaults using ordinary passenger cars, without the use of armored vehicles. We have already observed several such cases, but they are becoming increasingly frequent and gaining momentum. Here's another attempt at a similar assault. A Ukrainian drone observes as a Russian vehicle passes by heavy equipment that was destroyed in the wake of unsuccessful assaults. Another drone, equipped with explosives, begins to chase the Russian vehicle. In response, the Russians open fire with automatic weapons, attempting to shoot it down. But their attempts are in vain. They keep moving. Look, there's an anti-tank mine TM-62 ahead. Probably the vehicle's only advantage is good visibility and better maneuverability compared to any heavy equipment. The vehicle passes the mine between its wheels and continues forward. By the way, note that the vehicle is numbered, suggesting this is not the first attempt to assault in this direction. The terrain and distance to the Ukrainian positions allow them to strike the target. They fire an RPG. The projectile lands nearby, and the Russian soldiers flee as the drone drops an explosive. The driver deploys the infantry and retreats, but after covering a short distance, the vehicle explodes on a remotely planted mine. Under fire, another vehicle breaks through to assist. Note that it's marked with the number 2. Almost immediately, another RPG shot is fired. The vehicle ignites. forcing the assault troops to take cover near the wreckage of the destroyed armored vehicle. It is quite rare to see the Switchblade drone in action. Reconnaissance drones have detected the Russian SA-15 Gauntlet. This is an expensive piece of equipment that costs $25 million. The Switchblade is launched and is already heading toward the target. A precise strike causes serious damage and takes the equipment out of combat. Another equally costly air defense missile system, the SA-17 Grizzly, has been detected and struck on the southern front. A spectacular explosion followed by a massive fire. A Russian IFV fires on the outskirts of a village, and a Ukrainian drone immediately strikes it. Another armored vehicle is intercepted by an FPV drone in an open field and is also completely destroyed. Yet another assault attempt ends in failure. Kherson region. Ukrainian forces discovered the location of Russian troops, along with a depot of equipment and ammunition. The first drone clears the way. The next one, hitting inside, strikes the ammunition, which soon burns up completely. Another strike hits the attic from the other side. This building nearby also contains supplies. Inside, the SA-18 Grouse can be clearly seen. Judging by the explosion, there was a substantial amount of ammunition present. The garage containing Russian equipment also did not go unnoticed by the kamikaze drone.